everyone, I'm Rachel. When's the last time you led a long and meaningful conversation with your child? Even if you start with a really common question like, what's the best part of your day? You might get stuck at some point because nowadays you're spending almost 24 hours at home with your child, so there might not be anything really interesting to talk about. Today, I'm going to share some simple and effective skills to get the chats in the household going. And I've invited Miss Melody to share some of her insights as well. Hi, Melody.
Hi.
The first skill is to pause and listen to your child. When coaching parents, I always mention the importance of providing a language-rich environment for your children. But I often see parents who are very defaulting or very nervous about their children's progress, so they keep asking them questions or prompting them. Sometimes children may not have enough time to process what they're going to say, or they might even get stressed when they're asked so many questions at the same time. Melody, do you see similar situations, especially for children with social, emotional, or behavioral issues?
Yes, I think especially for those children, a lot of them have difficulty organizing their ideas. So they usually feel more stressed when they're getting a lot of input, and that makes it even harder for them to speak. So a better way to begin a conversation might be to make use of some times when you and your child are feeling more relaxed, such as during a meal or when you're playing a game together.
Yeah. Sometimes just pause and listen. You may find surprising moments when your child are free to talk about themselves. When you're initiating a conversation, you can start by simply showing your child their favorite toy, book, or game. Just wait for the request or even exclamations. If they're not ready to speak yet, remember, it's okay to wait and try again in the next turn. So it's important to keep a balance between inputting language and also waiting for your child's input. The second skill is to ask children open-ended questions. I often teach parents different prompting skills that are useful for the children, hoping that the skills can be carried over to everyday life. Quick prompts to elicit immediate response would be imitation, asking yes or no questions, or A or B questions. These prompts are useful for children of lower ability, or when we are building their vocabulary or basic sentence structures. However, the responses might be too short or brief. When your child is able to lead and maintain a longer conversation, we can instead ask them open-ended questions like why or how to get the conversation going. When there are no right or wrong answers, children's expressions can be greatly expanded as they can be really creative. For example, you can ask, why do you like this game so much? Or how would you like to make a pancake breakfast?
Yeah, and sometimes I also like to use what questions. For example, what do you think about the new movie? And what if questions can also stimulate children's imagination and help them take on different perspectives. For example, we can ask our children, what if you were the first person to discover the new coronavirus?
The third skill is to remember to share your own idea and experiences as well. Conversations go bi-directionally. Besides hearing from your child's ideas and feelings, they may want to hear from their parents in order to learn from them and feel them as well. When the conversation goes back and forth, you are actually bonding with the children, and your children are learning language from your feedback. For example, when your child has shared something, you can continue by saying, "Oh, I like your idea. I've done that when I was small as well." Or when you're talking about how to play a game, you may share your idea first by saying, "This is my way to build a castle. What about your method? Let's share and vote for one version." What do you think, Melody?
Yeah, I think so. I think that sharing your own experiences helps your child understand that a conversation is about two people. And I think that parents can share their experiences in a way that leaves a little bit of suspense for their child. So for example, they might say something like, "Oh, I went to the hospital once when I was your age." And doing that will spark your child's curiosity for them to ask some of their own questions to keep the conversation going.
Thank you, Melody, for sharing your ideas with us today. And that's the end of our video. So parents, are you up for a challenge right now? Find 3 topics on the list at the end of this video. Use all these 3 strategies that we've just shared, see how it goes, and share in the comments below. Have fun chatting, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye!